Fall fishing season has arrived, but the big question is, are the fish really there? Striped bass, a favorite among anglers, might be facing serious challenges, according to experts who are raising alarms about their future. In recent years, the number of juvenile striped bass successfully hatching and growing in key spawning areas like the Chesapeake Bay and the Hudson River has been alarmingly low, described by scientists as abysmal. This sharp decline in reproduction is puzzling and concerning, and it may be linked to a phenomenon known as phenological mismatch. But here's where it gets controversial. This mismatch refers to the timing disconnect between the bass's life cycle events and the availability of their prey, particularly menhaden, which are crucial food sources during spawning. If menhaden populations are dwindling or shifting their timing due to environmental changes, New England's fall season is traditionally one of the best times to catch striped bass, especially in Massachusetts, where these fish are known to bulk up before the harsh winter months. However, researchers are now warning that the striped bass population is under threat, which could impact fishing success in the near future. Striped bass have faced serious hurdles before. Back in the 1980s, overfishing nearly wiped out the population. Fast forward to 2023, and Massachusetts had to impose emergency catch limits after an unsustainable number of striped bass were caught the previous year. Now, the concern is shifting from overfishing to the fish's ability to reproduce effectively. So how exactly do striped bass reproduce? Most of the striped bass found in Massachusetts waters actually originate from spawning grounds in the Chesapeake Bay, Delaware River, and Hudson River. While adult bass spend much of their lives in saltwater, they return to these freshwater or brackish areas each spring to spawn. Males typically begin spawning at around 2 to 3 years old, while females start a bit later, around 5 to 6 years old. The number of eggs a female produces depends on her size. The larger the fish, the more eggs she can lay, which is why protecting bigger females is crucial for population recovery. Despite this natural cycle, recent reports from John Waldman, an aquatic conservation biologist at the City University of New York, highlight that the success rate of juvenile striped bass hatching and maturing in the Chesapeake Bay and Hudson River has been extremely poor. This abysmal reproduction rate is a red flag for the species' future. The concept of phenological mismatch might explain this troubling trend. This term describes when the timing of biological events like spawning or migration gets out of sync with environmental cues or food availability. For example, hummingbirds migrate when their food sources start to disappear at summer's end, and bees emerge just as flowers bloom in spring. If striped bass spawn at a time when their prey, such as menhaden, are not abundant, their young may not survive. Scientists are still investigating the exact causes, but warming waters and declining menhaden numbers at spawning sites are likely contributors. Both species are sensitive to temperature changes, which can disrupt their life cycles and interactions. Given these challenges, will there be new rules to protect striped bass? The Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission, ASMFC, which has overseen striped bass management along the Atlantic coast since 1981, is currently considering new measures. These proposals aim to rebuild striped bass stocks by 2029 and include potential changes like size limits, enhanced commercial tagging programs, adjustments to Maryland's recreational fishing season, and possibly a 12% reduction in overall harvest. This is where the debate heats up. Some anglers and commercial fishers worry that stricter regulations could limit their opportunities and livelihoods, while conservationists argue that such measures are essential to prevent another population collapse. Connecticut is set to hold a public hearing on September 15 to discuss these proposals, inviting stakeholders and the public to weigh in. So what do you think? Should we prioritize stricter conservation efforts to save striped bass, even if it means tighter fishing restrictions? Or is there a better way to balance fishing interests with the species' survival? Share your thoughts and join the conversation, because the future of striped bass fishing might depend on it.